So the next track, I have this snare. We're going to review how I use multiband compression to get that nice extra bit of boost to a snare drum. Now, I used to have the wimpiest snares in my production. I struggled with my snares for years and years. They were just brutal. Now, this is one of the techniques that I use now to help me get that nice punch and smack in the club that I was craving for so long. So here's the snare drum, just so you can hear it. So I'm just going to activate my multiband dynamics here and show you what I have going on. So I have this second band isolated from 165 to 255. Now I can't tighten it up with ozone dynamics any more than that, and I would if I could have, just to fine tune it a little bit more. And most multiband compressors, you actually have that flexibility, which is nice. So the reason why I chose to focus on this area, I haven't done any gain reduction outside of that. So I'm just looking squarely at this area, and the reason being is when I look at it through the analyzer, I'm seeing that the peak of my audio energy is about 177, 179. So that's right in the middle of this area. So let's take a look at what's happening with the multiband compression here. So looking at the lower mids. So I have my ratio of 2 and my attack at 144. I had it at 141. Let's change that back just so I'm not messing with it. And a quick release. So what that gives me is a slight whip kind of motion to the compression and a quick release on it. So it kind of slowly brings it in a little bit, like not too drawn out and slow, but slow enough, and with a quick release. So it kind of creates like this whip sensation almost. You kind of add a little bit of thrust to your sound. Hope that makes sense. So we're going to take a look at our audio signal here and just start bringing down the threshold just a little bit. Okay, so at about 19.3, on my threshold, there's about 2 decibels of gain reduction, approximately. Okay, so I've actually brought down the gain of this peak, this really important peak there, by 2 decibels already. Now we're going to give it a little boost with the auto gain, and we're actually going to give it a little bit of extra boost. So we're doing about 2 decibels of gain reduction. So we can boost it by 2 to bring it back up to 0, but we're going to actually boost it 4. So we're adding 2 decibels of audio energy just in that part of the spectrum. And that, using the attack and that release with the kind of shaping of the distortion signal, it kind of creates like this snap or whip or punch to it almost. So it creates like this extra little sensation of thrust, this kind of quality to your snare. So I'm just going to A and B this. I highly recommend checking this out on good monitors or really good headphones so you can hear the difference between the two. And remember, the area that we're really tuning our ear towards is this lower mids area here. It's just right down there. Okay, so this is off, on. It just has that little bit of extra weight on the low end that really makes a big difference. One thing that you'll find with music production, if you haven't found yet, is that it's typically always about those series of small steps that just make a little bit of a difference. And you do about 8 of those stacked up together, and it creates one big, huge, profound difference. And this is that's what I do for my snares.